y'all, welcome back to my channel. I finally got my hands on the brand new upgraded tufting gun. So this is the AKV, or the AK5. V is 5, right? Apparently these are also duos, which I feel like is them just being like, hey, if you take out the scissors, it can also be a loot pile. A lot of tufting machines say that they're a duo, but apparently it's also the AK6, which just means that it can also be loot pile. Anyways, I'm very excited. I've wanted this thing since the moment I heard about it because there's a lot of really, really interesting updates from the previous tufting machine. Wait, weren't we only up to AK 1 and 2? Where's 3 and 4? Anyway, we are going to unbox this today. I'm going to dissect everything. So we're basically going to compare it to my AK 1. We're going to break down all of its claims, see if they are true. We're going to compare the things and we're going to give it a test. So I did get my AK5 from All Things Effie, and I am currently affiliated with them, but I promise you I will give you my honest opinion of this machine. I also think that the AK5 isn't like exclusively Effie. Pretty sure other tufting suppliers have this machine. Okay, let's get to unboxing it. Okay, so here we go. Let's open her up. So we have a little manual on top. That's nice. And here is the beautiful machine. We have our handle that we still need to screw on. Look at it. It's so beautiful. Look at this handle. It's like a drill handle. Ooh. The feel is nice already. All right, let's fully take everything out first, and then we will look at all the things. So you got your, I don't know, power brick thing here, and then the plug. Then we got our little baggie of like extra bits, another pair of scissors, and some screws, just some like spare parts. Ooh, a new threader, and a bottle that is empty. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be an oil, but it is empty. Okay, and I think that is it. All right, I'm just going to quickly screw on the handle nice and tight. Okay, here is our first look at the new AK5. Very pretty. You will probably be noticing some things if you know what my other tufting machine looks like, or if you know what most tufting machines look like. Okay. Don't get ahead. Don't get ahead. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is list off all of like the new things, the things that have been added to this one to sort of upgrade the tufting experience. First visual difference is this really nice handle. So these gray bits are like grippy, rubbery bits, so they feel really nice in my hand. And then I really like this part here where we have these like two raised bits because my fingers fit nicely in there. And then we've also got up here is like a rubbery bit. So my hand, it like sits right on my hand right there. So that feels really comfortable. Also, the on and off switch is different from my other tufting machine. I have seen tufting machines have kind of a variety of different on-off switches, but this one has this, and it's actually really nice where they put it because of the way that I hold my gun. My thumb literally does kind of sit right there. So I feel like when I'm working, it'll be here, but it is nice that like, it's just right, it's right there. It's in a perfect spot. The next big visual difference, and not just visual, I feel like, but like a huge difference is there is no big gear right here, which looks really weird, and I'm so excited to see how that is going to work out. Another thing is that here on my other tufting machine has like the little motor thing, I'm pretty sure is what's up here, and it like sticks up a lot. Nothing here. Nothing to see here. Another thing is this. This is very interesting to me. So this little display is the digital speed display. So it's going to show you how fast it's going. That's interesting. We do still have the little knob on the bottom where you can change the speed. So I think when we change the speed on this knob, the numbers here are going to change. Another thing that they added was, do you see this like yellow bit on the front? I think right there, there's a little light. So there's gonna be like a little light right where you're working so you can see it better. I'm very curious to see what that light is gonna look like. And also, I guess over time, how long it's gonna last. Will it last forever? Well, actually, I wonder if it's like wired. It is. There's like, do you see this little space under here coming out of this nut? I'm pretty sure some wires that I'm assuming go to the little light. I don't know why I was assuming that it was gonna be like a little battery powered light. I'm dumb. So it looks like the supply voltage is between 100 and 240, which is the same as the AK1, but the power wattage is 120, and then the AK1 was 70. So more powerful. The speed says, it just says 1,000, like between 1,000 and 6,000. For the AK1 on Effie's website, it says speed range is between 5 and 40 stitches per second. Okay, so I did look on their website, like for the actual listing, just to see if it had any more info. And it says 1,000 to 6,000 RPMs, which is rotations per minute. It does also say on the website that it makes cut piles at a default of 14 millimeters. And then when I go and look at the AK1, it says cut pile height is adjustable between 7 millimeters and 18 millimeters. So does that mean that the AK5 is strictly 14 millimeter cut pile? To be honest with you, I do not know how long my current cut piles have been. One interesting thing that I did not, either I didn't know this originally about tufting machines, that this was just a thing always. Let me know if it was and I'm just silly. But it does say literally on the manual and on the side of the machine to remember to oil every 2 hours. It's a good thing that we got oil. Oh wait, it's really a good thing that I have my own. I wouldn't have used that oil anyway because I never remember to use those little bottles of oil that come with it anyway. Oil every 2 hours of operation. I oil like every one frame of rugs. So I wonder if that is to do with the different sort of like design that we have, or if that was always a rule that I just did not know about. Okay, I think we're done with those things. Let's get into weighing it and comparing. It still hooks on the frame, that's nice. All right, so here we have my scale, and I'm gonna weigh it in pounds. So I'm gonna weigh my AK1 first and see how heavy this is. So it says 3.4 pounds. And now we're gonna weigh the new AK5. I'm excited. So the AK5 weighs 2.9 pounds. So it is definitely lighter. I also want to measure it and see if they're the same length. Okay, so from tip to end here, try like 13.5 inches. And then my AK1 from tip to end is about the same, maybe even a little bit shorter. So it might be slightly like, you know, 1/4 inch longer. So this is the comparison between the little gear area, so the AK1 and the AK5. This is the difference from the top of the machines. Very different. Look how much less bulky the AK5 is compared to the AK1. Damn, that's nice. And like holding them up right now to show you these things, this one's heavy and this one's obviously got some weight to it because it's still a metal like tufting machine, but a lot lighter, a lot nicer. So these parts are basically the same. I don't know where I'm gonna put my googly eyes, but we're gonna have to find a place. They took away my googly eye spot. And then this is the difference with our tips. They basically look the same, besides the AKV having a little light. So with this one not having the gear and everything, there's supposed to be less vibration, like less, you know, and it's also supposed to be much quieter. And that is the thing I want the most. Although I do like the sound, it's just that I live in an apartment and it would be nice to not have to worry about somebody hearing this and being like, what on earth is that? And it would also be really nice if it were a lot less, you know? So we're going to plug it in and we're going to give it a test. Okay, so I am going to get started by oiling all the things. They do come like pre-oiled, I can see it, but I just want to make sure, since it does say to oil it every 2 hours, how I oil all of my other tools. So I'm going to do these bars where this piece kind of slides back and forth, and then this bar, because this piece slides back and forth, and then we'll do this one, flip it to the other side. Okay, all the moments here. We are going to turn it on. Wow, so now we have our numbers here, which is telling us the speed. So I'm kind of turning the little knob down here, and it is changing the speed. I'm going to play you a clip of me just having it on without me editing the audio in any way. I need you to know, I know you're not in the room with me, but I need you to know that this sound is okay, maybe you can hear it outside in my kitchen, but maybe you couldn't hear it in my living room. Whereas before, my tufting machine, like my regular one, I'm kind of afraid sometimes that my upstairs neighbor can hear it. I don't need to make it sound like it's insane, but compared, I am legitimately shocked, okay? I'm not trying to give you some wild reaction for any kind of views or whatever. Here, let me get my other machine. Here's the audio of my AK1 doing its thing, unedited audio. That was the lowest speed, by the way. The lowest possible speed on this? So slow. That is so interesting. That's the sweetest little baby sound I've ever heard come out of a tufting gun. Okay, so then if we go to the fastest speed, which, by the way, going at fastest speed means that's going to be the most jostly. And this feels like, yes, it has a vibration to it, but it doesn't feel... Wow, that feels smooth. Fastest speed on this machine. I'm like scared to even have that on, once again. Okay, editing Artsy popping in, because while editing this, I was like, their audio levels are nearly the same. And like listening to the clips, even unedited, I was like, they kind of sound not that different. So I downloaded a like decibel reading, like audio level decibel reading app on my phone. Paid $5 a week for it, but I'm going to cancel the subscription before. Anyways, this first clip is me like doing a screen recording of it reading the sound coming from the AK5. This next recording is the screen recording of it reading the audio levels coming from the AK1. Can somebody tell me why? So they legitimately sound different. The AK5 sounds less somehow, but listening to the clips and then looking at the decibel reader thing, they're kind of the same. The AK1 has like a heaviness to the sound, if that makes sense. The AK5 just sounds lighter, but they're not. Why? Does this make sense to anybody? Is anybody an audio freak and can tell me why these two sounds are reading the same, but they sound different only in person? Because like it really does sound quieter. It really does. I promise you. But it's not. I don't know. I have no idea. Make this make sense to me. You know, it's hard for me to like convey how much less jostly it is. I keep saying jostly, like the vibration is less on the new one. Let's tuft a couple of squares. Okay, so this square here is the AKV, and then this square is going to be the AK1. And I kind of just want to see if tufted pieces will come out significantly different or not. They'll probably just come out the same. But yeah, threading is the same. So we have this big loop first, and then we thread it through the needle. Do you see the little light happening? Wow, that's cute. No. Listen, I want to tell you something. Let me lean you over and tell you something. I'm going to flirt with you. Actually, I'm going to flirt with this because I use a tufting gun basically every day of my life, besides the weekends. This was so buttery soft just now. Again, I pinky promise you, I'm giving you my real opinion of this. This felt like butter just now, especially compared to the guns that I've been using. Okay, back up. Let's do the square. What the? Oh. Oh my god. Dude. I can feel my wrists already being so happy about this. Okay, our square has been tufted. Here it is. Beautiful straight lines, lovely. Okay, so now for our second square, I'm gonna go in with a different colored yarn as well so that we can know the difference when I eventually cut these down. But I'm gonna tuft with my AK1, and we're gonna do the same thing, just a square. So there is our square for the AK1. All right, so what are our final thoughts? What are my final thoughts on this? This is the nicest tufting machine that I currently own now. Yeah. Yep. Yep. All jokes aside, all silliness aside, all affiliates aside, this is legitimately the nicest tufting machine that I own. It is incredibly easy to like maneuver around. You know what I mean? It just feels, it feels so smooth and so soft. And I want to be clear that like I'm not at all saying that this thing is like silent and that it's so like, you know, it barely vibrates or anything. It absolutely does vibrate, you know. It's a tufting machine, it vibrates. And it does have a sound to it that isn't, you know, a whisper. But in comparison to this guy, this lady, it is very quiet and very smooth. A lot less vibration. It just feels like somebody woke up and was like, wait, why are we doing it like this when we could be doing it like this? The whole thing just feels like an actual upgrade. What I was worried about with this thing was that it was going to be one of those upgrades that isn't super necessary. Do you know what I mean? Like if you already have a tufting machine, if you're getting into tufting and you're getting your first machine, obviously I think it would make sense to get the newest version. But what I was worried about, since I already have a tufting machine and I have a long pile machine, I was worried that this was going to feel like I wasted my money. But I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way, like, even in the slightest, because it's that nice. It's that good. And I also, like I said earlier, I have a tufting gun in my hands every day, nearly, for several hours of that day. I film with my tufting machine. I stream tufting. This is going to be such quality of life. This is a quality of life upgrade. Now, if you already do have a tufting machine, like if you have an AK1, am I saying that you absolutely have to upgrade? No, definitely not. Especially if, you know, you're tufting for fun or for a hobby or whatever. But if you have like your own business where like maybe most of your income is through selling your art, your tufted art, I might say maybe, you know, think about it. Maybe think about saving for it or whatever. I don't think it's something where like you have to run out and get this right now. This is still a nice machine, but this is a very nice machine. Does that make sense? And do I think it was worth it? I absolutely do. I paid, it looks like on Effie's website, it was $276. I do have my own like affiliate code that I use, so I do think it was $218 after my code. So I paid the rest myself. Even if I didn't have my code and I paid the $276, still would feel like it was worth it. I was reading to make sure that I got through everything and that I brought everything up. Oh my god, it isn't there. So I was reading one of their like bullet points, and I just showed you nothing. One of their bullet points on their website. It says, original mechanical contact brake has upgraded to built-in non-contact Honeywell magnet brake device. The yellow wire is not an issue anymore. I didn't know what it was talking about until it said the yellow wire is not the issue. An issue anymore. And they're talking about this little guy that sticks up in this little yellow wire here. I've never had an issue with this, but I can imagine things getting caught there and maybe breaking that. I can see that. I've never had that issue, but can absolutely see that. And this machine doesn't have that. It would be here, right? It also says uses a DC brushless motor that is completely enclosed. Its high power, low noise, doesn't spark. I've never known a tufting machine to spark. Have you guys ever seen a tufting machine that sparks? I don't know what brushless motor means, but okay. That sounds nice. A synchronous belt drive, which results in low noise, long life, and smooth transmission. The eccentric wheel increases the counterweight device to make it tuft more smoothly, and the amount of vibration is significantly reduced. It also says the newly upgraded scissors closes perfectly, solves the vibration and noise generated by the traditional scissors, and makes the pile more even. That's so interesting. Anyways, those were all the things. And those were all of my first impressions and my thoughts and my comparison between ye old, this is Miss Pile, the AK1 and the AK5. Please let me know where 3 and 4 went. Like, did I miss the bus on those? Did I miss 2 buses? Let me know your thoughts on this new tufting machine. Do you tuft? Are you interested in this machine? Do you already have one of these? Are you still looking into one of these if you do have one of these? Do you not tuft at all and you're just watching because you're wonderful and supporting one of my videos because, again, you're wonderful? Or are you not even thinking of getting one of the new tufting machines and you're just watching this video because you also are a wonderful person? Yeah, don't forget to share your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. You can follow me in all of these places. It is usually at Artsymadwoman, besides Twitch and Tumblr, which is the Artsymadwoman. I stream my tufting escapades over on Twitch, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern. We would love to have you and hang out with you if you would like to hang out with us. They're a weird bunch over there, and it's great. Anyway, I love y'all to absolute death, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!